Hello everybody out there in internet world. I'm just creeping along in traffic and I got to thinking I wanted to talk to you all about lucid dreaming. I feel it's very important, and I think it's very overlooked in this day of age, with the age of technology and instant gratification and social media, that we don't tap back into what we've had since the birth of human consciousness, which is dreams. People like to overlook dreams. And many people, from what I've found out, at least in my experience in Los Angeles, not many people are lucid dreamers. I myself am lucky enough to be one, and I actively work on trying to gain more lucidity within my dreams. And there are 5 ways that I've figured out how you can tap into being lucid. Now, the reason I'm going to be talking about these 5 ways is because rather than going lucid and just basically having the powers of God and pretty much doing whatever you want in a dream state, oh, I want to fly, or oh, I want to fight 100 ninjas, like whatever it is that you're trying to do in that sense, I implore you to really search on a spiritual, humanitarian type level, subconscious level, to tap into you and what your God or your belief structure or who you are as an individual, to try to grow and expand. And it's really, really amazing stuff, because you gain something that you never could within this just conscious reality. You literally do get a tap in. So many different ancient civilizations would talk about dreams being the gateway to the alternative realms. So the fact that we have access to it, and we so overlook it because of whatever reason, society or lack of belief or whatever, I personally feel it's super critical and crucial to one's own development. And I've noticed the change in my own life with things that are happening synchronistically, both career and personal. People who I've met, who I've truly respected in the career that I've chosen to focus on, and building these relationships not only on a professional level, but more importantly on a personal friendship level. It's quite amazing, and seeing my actual profession advance and flourish to levels that I haven't even dreamed of, and still dream of even more. Anyway, I digress. So, first way in order to tap into lucidity: say an evening mantra before you go to bed. Please allow me to be lucid and have complete control over my dream and not force myself to wake up. Something along those lines. Whatever it is that you want to say, to whether you're religious, to your God, or whether you're spiritual, or just to the universe, whatever it is that you connect with, right? And let's say that works for you. More than likely, you're going to be posed a problem before you're going to be given power of lucidity. More than likely. For example, I had a reoccurring dream. That's the second way to tap in, a reoccurring dream. I had a reoccurring dream that I had when I was a child. This reoccurring dream, I was within the back of a cavern. It had a tunnel with a cave and 4 pillars. And a man comes running through. And he said, "The man who controls everything is coming, except from where you reside." It's an odd riddle. But I remember the entire dream as if it were yesterday, and that dream reoccurred so many times. What I used to do, and I haven't had the dream since, and I believe because I've already achieved what it is I needed to achieve in it, I would run out of the cave, and usually I had a significant lover with me, and whoever it was that I was with. But now thinking about it, I think it was actually my fiance. It chimes in, because it was always blonde, always short, always petite. Anyway, so the man would come in and take her, and then I'd have to go through, and I would gain lucid powers throughout the entire dream, but I would never be able to get her back. And sometimes I would run out and she would get caught, or other times we would stay in and we wouldn't run out quite fast enough, and he would come in and get her. But I always noticed this one thing: he never passed the pillars. And I realized that the last time he grabbed this pillar and said, I'm going to take her now. And rather than just allow her to be taken, I stepped in front of him and pulled him into the area and said, no, you will not, because this is from where I reside, thus you have no power. And he looked at me with fear and withered away and disappeared and died. And I gained 100% lucidity to where I was changing the room. I was just creating things and manifesting things right off the bat. And that's just an example of what lucidity can be, of tapping in. Now, number 3. If you see dreams in a movie sequence where it's camera angles or it's cut sequences where, for example, I'm in a car and then all of a sudden it cuts to being at like a dining room table or anywhere, like a football field, a soccer field, a classroom, it doesn't matter. If you can consciously become aware that you're in a new location, that's another way of tapping into lucidity. 4th way, slowly gaining consciousness within a dream. If you slowly start to gain consciousness within a dream and then eventually come to the realization that you are fully within a dream, and then saying to yourself in said dream, okay, this is literally a dream. Everything around me is not real. And then the 5th way is setting up mental signposts, basically. So triggers. Throughout the day, you set certain triggers that you would want to have within a dream and then try to recreate it before you go to bed. And those mental triggers could be a person you love, a family member that's passed away, anything. But something that you know that if you see it in a dream, you're going to go, okay, that's a dream. And the reason I am talking about it so much is I really think it's the key, one of the many keys to grow both spiritually and personally within your own self-development. Beyond all this different type of like New Age philosophy or even religion, like, you will grow if you truly search within yourself and try to grow for that one purpose. Just, you're trying to be a better person, you're trying to better yourself, and in order to better yourself you better humanity, etc. It's a trickle down effect. So I do implore you all to try to be lucid. I mean, yeah, every now and then, you want to be the superhero and you want to fight hundreds of ninjas and fly and maybe shoot Kamehameha waves like Goku from Dragon Ball Z, which I've done plenty of times and it's really, really fun. But no, if you take this next step and go more on a spiritual / humanitarian type of way of going lucid and trying to solve problems, you're really going to find something so amazing out of it, because things will start to change in your life. Little bitty things that you'll take for granted. Synchronicity will happen that much more often. And it's beautiful. There have been many great thinkers. The first one that comes to my mind is Nikola Tesla. He was able to tap into lucidity apparently during awake consciousness, but also solved a majority of his scientific equations and problems and came up with ideas for these new technologies back then, within the dream state of lucidity. Now, mind you, I'm recording on a cell phone that's wireless. That was one of his visions. So the world at which he had envisioned came to pass, but not in the way that he had truly envisioned it. Most people don't realize that Nikola Tesla wanted to give the world free energy. That was his purest intention. He wanted to give back to the world. Nowadays, that's not the case. People are saying that they've discovered free energy when in reality they're just rediscovering what he had already discovered. Wireless wireless energy, like you name it. There's so many things that have been suppressed that people don't realize have already been rediscovered. Even the ancients, with the ancient Egyptians and the temples and the energy and the frequencies that go through the temples. Like, now science is now showing graphs of this, and it's now becoming common knowledge, but we're still shut off from it. So in order for you as a person, as an individual, rather than be shut off from the physical manifested side of these types of technologies that you may or may not have access to, there is one within you, and it is your dream state that you have access to. And you need to take full advantage of it and not worry about this 9-to-5 type realm of like, oh, I have to make money to pay my bills. Look, I just got done Ubering for basically 5 hours, and I had an 8-hour shift of my day job, and still did my all other types of work while focusing on what my dreams are, what my goals are, and laying out tasks ahead of what I need to accomplish in order to get things done. Don't make excuses for not doing the things that A, you love doing, and B, oh, because somebody else has got things better than I do. There's always going to be somebody that has things better than you do. It's the people that push through the limits that are put in front of them that achieve greatness. Now, I'm not saying I'm a great person. I would like to achieve some great things in my life. And I do know that you have to lead by example. In my life, everything I've dreamt of doing has come true. Not all of it, but everything so far, scratching off the bucket list, just not on the timeline that I had envisioned it. My timeline has been skewed somewhat by about 5 years. Now, I think that's because I made some choices earlier in my life that I probably shouldn't have done, and it threw me off on a different tangent. But my wildest dreams have come true, like to a T. And I'm not where I want to be, quote, financially, but I'm getting there. And it's a really, really fun journey. And I'm telling you all this because I know there's somebody out there who's going to see this and benefit from it. I know there's somebody out there that's going to be like, oh shit, like I've done exactly that. So I hope you enjoyed it. It made time go by for me. I greatly appreciate it because we finally got through traffic. Just passing on Abbott Kinney right now. What up, Intelligentsia? And production studio. Very, 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 very well known one. For those who know. Someday, my friend, someday. Someday soon, actually. So anyway, have fun, be safe. It's 4th of July, so happy birthday, America. But instead of focusing on the negative, people, bring it in, realize that it's there, it exists for a reason, and then just be positive towards other people. You got to understand the negative in order to be positive. So, I love you all, and peace to you all.